Hey everyone, welcome to my chapter 760 review of One Piece. Now, this chapter was rather interesting. Three main points I want to talk about. First one, starting with Sabo and Fujitora. Now, the disappointing thing I will say is that they pretty much just decided to skip the whole Sabo Fujitora fight. Yeah, in the last couple chapters, they did have, a few fighting scenes between Sabo and Fujitora, but I felt like there should have been more, and it should have been a little more intense and hectic than it was. But it felt a little bit anticlimactic and like it was just finished too early or wrapped up without a true conclusion to it. But whatever, it is what it is. There's other things going on right now in this arc, a lot other things, so I kind of understand him skipping it, and the whole, how can you get more epic than they did with the whole horizontal gravity, so it is what it is. They skipped the whole Sabo Fujitora fight. I wanted to see more of it. We didn't get it, but what you're gonna do? You can't always have everything the way you want, I guess, even though I wanted to see that fight so bad. Um, so that was a little disappointing. And then the really weird thing I found in this chapter was Fujitora's stance on things. This is one of the strangest admirals I've seen. He has a lot of similar personality, in my opinion, to Kiji when he was an admiral. Here is this whole arc, pretty much. Fujitora is after the Straw Hats and just wants to take down pirates, including Flamingo. But in this arc, he kind of decides, you know what? Let Luffy do his thing, and I'm betting on Luffy to beat Flamingo. And I just found that really weird because the last couple chapters and really a lot of this arc was spent in, Sabo trying to prevent Fujitora and his army, his marine army, from reaching or pretty much, how do I say it, intervention or intervening with Luffy's fight again, or Luffy's pursuit of Flamingo. So now Fujitora's kind of done like a 360 here, and he's like, you know what, my dice is on Luffy. I'm gambling on Luffy. I think he can beat I think he can beat Flamingo. So that whole thing really threw me off. I guess, it's interesting in the sense that if the rest of the Marines and Navy find out about this, I really don't see Fujitora being a Marine much longer. And how the hell did he be an admiral much longer? And how the hell did he actually become an admiral? I'm very curious. Maybe we'll find out eventually. So that was really bizarre. And then we go back to the fourth level where Flamingo, Luffy, and Trable are on the top still. If you remember the last episode, Luffy finished red hawking Flamingo through his chest, and Trable got completely cut up by Law's radio knife ability. So, in this episode, as I'm pretty sure most of us expected, Flamingo just got a little, he was a little bleeding a little bit, but he pretty much got right back up, and he took that hit. He was fine. Just little wounds, and Law and Luffy got their ass kicked in this chapter and paid for it. Pretty much, Trable grabbed... This is what I got out of it, because the panel was a little bit confusing. But what I got out of it, correct me if I'm wrong, Trable grabbed Law's legs. I think he grabbed Law's legs, and then Flamingo just using his string food, just cut the hell out of Law. Like, massive cuts. I think it looked like a cut to the shoulder and to the face, but Law got messed up, and then Luffy tried intervening, and Bellamy, I believe, Flamingo controlled Bellamy and beat the shit. I don't know if he kicked Luffy or pretty much beat the hell out of Luffy as well. So now Luffy and Law are down for the count. Trable is still cut up. He can't really move. So Sabo still looks like he's out of the fight, but Flamingo is just really turned this fight around now. So as we expected, this is not going to be an easy fight. Luffy and Law look like they're going to have to work together to beat Flamingo. I don't know how it's going to turn up. And we might have to actually see Luffy pull out something new, like maybe Gear 4th or something different to beat Flamingo. But other than that, the most interesting part of this entire chapter was the very end, the last 2 pages, where they showed a glimpse of Flamingo's past. I'm surprised they didn't spend... I think we're still going to get more flashback on Kurason and more about Law's past, as well as maybe a little more of Flamingo's past. But they spent, I believe, 2 pages, 1 or 2 pages on Flamingo's past. And what they showed was pretty much, here's what we got out of it. Flamingo, as a kid, was Flamingo's father was part of the Celestial Dragons, and he didn't want any part of it. He saw how corrupt the Celestial Dragons were, so he turned against them and said, you know, the hell with this. I'm going to live a normal lifestyle. I don't want any part of being rich or part of the greed or corruption that's what associated with the Celestial Dragons. So he stepped down, turned away from turned away from the whole system. He just said the hell with the system. The problem with doing that, though, was wanting to live the poor life and just not wanting to have that rich life. You know, Flamingo was just a young kid, and Flamingo didn't want that. Flamingo, we saw it in the 3 panels. He's like, "Where are my slaves?" And then he was just criticizing his father, who looked to be sick. And he was like, "This is why Mom died in this poor shithole of a house, because from disease and pestilence, because we're just living the poor life." And Flamingo just turned into a real maniacal kid. So after that, I forget exactly what happened, but Flamingo pretty much vowed just revenge on the whole world. The whole Celestial Dragon was just bullshit to him, and he was just like, you know what? They turned against him. And they turned against him because his father didn't want any part of it. And now Flamingo is just like, the hell was it? Flamingo is just like, you know what? I want to destroy the world, just end it all. And he's just a really maniacal person. And now we understand a little bit how he got so messed up. But I felt like it was a little too short. Still a little convoluted with a lot of information they gave us. And my biggest issue with the chapter as a whole was that it was just too short. I think it was only 13 or 14 pages. I was hoping for a little bit more. But regardless, it was still a pretty good chapter. Not as great as the last 2 weeks, but still solid. I would give this chapter an 8 out of 10. Good chapter. I like the Law stuff. I mean, the Flamingo backstory. I was just hoping for a little bit more. And I liked Luffy and Law getting their ass kicked. I'm curious to see how that ends. And the whole Fujitora stuff was weird. So that is all I have for this review. Comment down below, subscribe, like the video. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's chapter. What did you think about the whole Fujitora stuff, Flamingo's backstory, and all that jazz? So let me know. That is all I have for you today. We will see you later. Bye.